said some good years I'm dreaming.
Hi, my name is Mario Biferali, and I'm the next guest on Rob's Inner Circle. Stay right there. We'll be right back.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I'm Robert D'Alesso, and I'm the host of Rob's Inner Circle, broadcasting live from Montreal, Canada, my personal Facebook page and the Bobby Short Shorts YouTube channel, and on the Rob's Inner Circle Facebook page. We have a huge shout out going out to our very hardworking producer, Rob's Inner Circle, Jenny Duhame. And another shout out to the other hardworking associate we have here on the show, our podcast techie, Patty, Ladies Starlight Saragosa. Thank you, girls, for being there, for making this show all that much better. Folks, we have a few honorable shout outs this evening. One of them concerns myself and my great co-host and friend, Esther Brzezinski. We host Noon Hour Out of the Box every Wednesday at noon, and we got some fantastic news. We are now broadcasting every Saturday on Access Internet Radio. Yes, you heard that. We're on Access Internet Radio as of last Saturday. We're broadcasting Saturdays from noon to 3 p.m. And you can catch our show on accessradio.ca. That's a show you don't want to miss. And, of course, you can catch us live every Wednesday at noon. Another shout out goes out to the Cooking Show Challenge, a Celebrity Chef Edition online awards gala, and it will be hosted by Seema Aurora. It will be held October 15 at 8:30 p.m. Tickets are $10 and they include a raffle. A portion of the proceeds will go to Sid Stevens' Sun Youth Foundation. Among the 4 celebrity guest judges are radio host of CJAD's now trending show, Orla Johannes, film producer Frank Bayless, host and creator of Beyond the Plate cooking series on CTV, Heidi Small, and CBC News reporter Kwabena Odora. Tickets are available for the online awards gala at info@zensamedia.com. So, folks, let us know during the show if you're going to be attending, if you have any questions pertaining to it. Our producer and Patty, our technician, are going to be doing their darndest to be able to oblige. And the final honorable mention goes to Rise Up TV's Canadian West Coast artists who are going on tour between October 26th and 30th across Alberta. Their last reality TV tour is now up on their Roku station. Go check it out. Daily Struggles is up and rising on the Rise Up TV channel, and it's on the Roku streaming service. If you don't have your Roku streaming stick, not a problem. Go on Amazon.ca, and you can get one for as little as $30. That's $30. All of the Rob's Inner Circle merchandise is readily available, and you can get that at 514brandingco.com. That's 514brandingco.com. We have a lot of interesting collectible items on that particular website that is run by our good friend and collaborator, Mr. Vincent Gargano. We invite you to go into the Bobby Short Shorts YouTube channel, click onto our playlists. Go ahead, give us some likes, give us some comments. You want to share our productions, subscribe to the Bobby Short Shorts YouTube channel, and hit that notification bell, because every time a new production goes up, you will be the first to know. Well, folks, it's that time once again. It's time to slip into our weekly ritual. This is the moment when we sit back, relax, we kick up our feet on the edge of the table, take a deep breath, exhale, and you let us carry the load. We have a great show lined up for you guys tonight. You're going to love it. We also have a very special guest who's going to be tuning in. Stay tuned. Folks, it's showtime. Let's get it on. We have our guest who's standing by backstage with his guitar, nice and tuned. He's going to be doing a nice little rendition for us as he comes onto the show. Ladies and gentlemen, please help us welcome tonight's star attraction here on Rob's Inner Circle. He's a guitarist, he's a singer, a songwriter, and he's also the VP of sales at Goddamn Guitars. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a profound pleasure to welcome Mario Biferali.
I feel your pain, I see you tremble. In the dark all by yourself. I hadn't seen you since forever. Where's the girl that I once knew? I know it's cold and you're afraid, girl. Your heart's still pure beneath the hurt. You lost your way, you're in a free fall. I'd give my life to break your fall. Parachute, let me be your parachute, parachute, my love.
Our birthday boy, Mario Biferali from Montreal, Canada. Mario, what an honor and pleasure to have such an amazing and talented artist, homegrown, on Rob's Inner Circle.
Hey, Rob, thanks for having me. I appreciate it, and happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to yourself and to all our viewers once again, and to our guest who is standing by, who's going to be coming in the last 10, 15 minutes of the show. Mario, it's your birthday on Wednesday, but you know, we won't be around on Wednesday. So Patty, Jenny, and myself are taking this this moment to wish you a happy birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's really nice of you guys. Thanks a lot.
So Mario, let's get down to the nitty gritty over here, because an hour really flies by in this show over here. Tell us a little bit about yourself. So where were you born, Mario?
I was born in Toronto, actually, and pretty much lived in Montreal my whole life. And grew up in Rivière de Prairie, Montreal North, moved to Kirkland when I was probably 19 or 20 years old, and always played music. There was always music in the house, you know, kind of your typical upbringing. But my dad really supported the arts and really encouraged us to play. Like, my sister played piano, and I remember my dad telling me, well, Carmen plays piano. What do you want to play? You know, and I remember back then, I said, you know what? I'd love to play piano, but I think I'm going to play guitar. You know, I had heard Richie Blackmore doing Highway Star, and I said, wow, that's what I want to do. So that's pretty much it. You know, kind of your typical upbringing.
So Richie Blackmore, I mean, you picked a real heavyweight there when it comes in terms of guitarist, or the Deep Purple guitarist.
Yeah. Yeah, I was. I still remember when I heard Richie for the first time. I was actually at my aunt's house for New Year's, and all my cousins are girls, so I'm the only guy. I was a little boy, you know, 12 years old, and I snuck into my older cousin's bedroom, I suppose, and he had a turntable. He was an older cousin, and he wasn't there, so I put on a record, and the first song I heard was Highway Star, and I was literally like, what is this? It was like magic. Like, how could you make those sounds? You know, what is that? I didn't even know what it was. So that's what I wanted to do. So yeah, Richie Blackmore. As a matter of fact, it was also one of my very first concerts. My sister bought me tickets when I was 14 years old, when Deep Purple came to the Montreal Forum, and she's 4 years older than me, and she bought me tickets, and I went to see Deep Purple on the Perfect Strangers tour. And I remember I was giving the guy my ticket, and I was shaking so hard because the opening act was on, and my heart was beating, and it was like, it's the biggest rush.
And are
Yeah.
you into keyboards?
Well, I love B3. I love B3. I've loved music in general. No matter what instrument it is. But yeah, of course, John Lord, Deep Purple. You can't.
That's exactly what it was going to come down to. I mean, you love Richie Blackmore from Deep Purple. Well, then you got Jack Lord on those keyboards,
John Lord, yeah,
which have been unmatched through the years. Just an amazing sound that we get from our good friend.
That's right. Absolutely. Yeah.
So you attended fine art school, but you were attending a regular high school, but then something happened, something special happened, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, with the support of your parents,
Yeah.
which is a little bit rare, actually. A lot of people getting support from the parents is, it's not really something that's common. So you got support from your parents, and you went from a regular high school to a fine arts high school. Tell us all about that.
Well, that's right. So I was about 13 years old, and I was going to Sorfalori High School, Sec 1, like everybody else. You go to high school, but I was a little lost. My mom actually had just passed away, and I was 13 years old. So I was kind of just going through the motions, going to school, and quite frankly, a little lost, like you're just kind of there because you have to be there. And I remember the teacher, the last period, said, "Hey, for anybody interested, there's this new school. You should go check it out if you're into the arts. It's after school." And I remember thinking, I don't even want to be here during regular school hours. Do I actually want to stay after school to hear more? But for some strange reason, I just said, let me go hear it out. And they were talking about the school, and it was called Thomas Darcy McGee Center for the Fine and Performing Arts. And it was like they were reading my mind. So I went to this school downtown on Pine and Park Avenue. I was 13 years old. And it was basically drama, art, dance, music, plus all the core courses. So you still get your high school diploma, but it's a focus on one of those things, And I remember going home and saying, "Oh my God, how am I going to break the news to my dad? I want to go to that school." And back then I lived in RDP. So it was basically an hour and 20 minutes metro bus to get to Darcy. And I told my dad, I said, "Dad, man, I really want to go to school, and I'm going to get free classical guitar lessons. I'm going to be in the arts, and I could minor in art." And my dad's an art dealer and an art evaluator. He worked in art galleries and all his life. And he just said, "Cool, you should do it." He didn't say, "How are you going to get there? What are you going to do?" He just said,
Wow.
"Cool." And I didn't realize how lucky I was because, later on I realized not everybody has such supportive parents. And my dad always supported me. Actually, my whole family actually always supported me in music or whatever we wanted to do. So I was lucky. I went to that school. It was literally life-changing. I wasn't a jock. So I wasn't, when I was at Sorfalori, I wasn't with the sports guys. And I wasn't like one of the cooler guys. I was just kind of this kid. So that school really opened my eyes. That was great. I kindly found my crowd, people that I still speak with, my friends. I could say, "Wow, look, that guy's artistic." And the other cool thing was that going to school in a basically all Italian neighborhood, that's what we saw, right? Bunch of people exactly like us, which is great. But it was nice because downtown I was exposed to different cultures, different religions, different types of people from a very early age. And that served me well all my life. And I'm very grateful for that experience, because it kind of got me out of my bubble. And I was lucky. I was playing music for 2-3 hours a day, doing the rest because I had to, like the math, English, French subjects, history. but the carrot at the end of the stick was you get to play music. So that was fantastic.
Well, someone you know quite well is tuned in, film producer Teresa Picciano, and she's very grateful for your collaboration. You composed the music for her award-winning, absolutely amazing short film, Mate and Date.
Yes, that was fantastic. That was a great experience, you know. And
Teresa, yeah, go ahead, Mario.
I
Sorry.
was just gonna say congrats to Teresa and everybody else because Mate and Date is winning a bunch of awards and is just kicking some serious butt, you know, out there. So congrats to you guys.
Well, now that we're on this subject, and Teresa, by the way, graduated from McGee in 1977, she says, and after it became a fine arts
Oh, I didn't
school.
know that.
There you go.
Oh
It's a
man,
small world out there.
that was the best school. We were right across the street from Mount Royal. So we'd go hang out Mount Royal. There wasn't any schoolyard. So you were like downtown was your schoolyard. It was the best.
So your regular kid has to be dragged. Well, actually, no. The moment hears the bell, it's like a mad dash. He runs faster than the roadrunner to get out of the school. But you, on the other hand, had to be dragged out of school because you loved staying after school, and school was like a bigger part of your life than playing street hockey or sports, what have you. So what is it that stuck, made you stick around after school hours?
We had teachers like Mr. Godet who you have to remember this was a fine arts school. So a lot of the teachers, the drama teacher, the music teacher, they were pretty much, hippie style, cool teachers. So they would say, hey man, do you want to jam? We got a drum kit, we got a keyboard, we got amps, just bring your guitar. So we were able to, instead of go out and do stupid stuff at the park or mess around, me and my friends, Jill, Louie, Susie, Anna, all these people, we'd get together and we'd jam till 5:30, and then I take a bus back home. Take me about an hour and a half, get home at 7. So they kind of actually encouraged us to play. And as a matter of fact, we played the variety show. They would encourage us. We'd always do artistic stuff. So to me, it was like I wasn't into hockey. I wasn't into sports. So that was my thing. So you find people like you, things that you have in common, and it's the best feeling in the world.
Well, at a very young age, you were exposed to drugs, alcohol, and a whole bunch of things that is easily associated to rock music. You, on the other hand, were actually very blessed to be protected from all of that stuff over there. How hard was it for you to be, fighting the urge, fighting the temptation? Because I'm sure a lot of your friends were into that stuff, right? They were trying, hey, dude, come on, just have a little spliff over here.
Hey, yeah.
How hard was it for you to resist the temptation?
It was actually very easy because it's funny because we're just at Thanksgiving at my in-laws' house and my parents were there. And I was telling my kids, like, when I was a kid, I wasn't scared of the cops. I was scared of my dad, So I just knew that like I don't judge, but to me that I knew what I didn't want. So it was actually quite easy because I had a goal, and my goal was to be back then was to be, a successful musician, rock star, whatever you want to call it. So anything that deterred me from that path, I wouldn't do. And we played and we were offered and all that stuff like everybody else, right? But the thing that I'm the most proud of with my band, Krystal, that we were together for 14 years, was that we were 5 Italian guys from the East End. We never did that stuff. We stayed the course. We were these 5 guys. We'd go on the road. We would have the food for like 2 months. We would have, we would go to the grocery together at the grocery stores. We would have a walk. We would cook. We would have an espresso machine. We would like eat like a family, and it never even occurred to us to do that. It was so weird. It wasn't even on. It was on our radar because we saw it, but for some reason, I knew what I didn't want, and so it was quite easy on that regard. And I'm the most proud of that because if you would see us then, 5 guys, long hair, some of us had tattoos. And you would say, well, these guys, for sure. But we were just business. We were going there, playing the gigs, and getting out. So
Well, see, folks, you heard it here first. It's actually possible to be a rocker and not to be in drugs and alcohol. We have a little bit of a treat for you folks. We have the official version of Parachute, the official video that Mario shot. This is with the help of Marco Yamateo, a local Montreal film director who shot the video. We're going to be showing you that. So, folks, prepare your questions. Don't be shy. And Mario is he's going to oblige. He's going to answer your questions. Anything you want to ask him, feel free. We're going to be coming back to the questions right after this video, Parachute by Mario Biferali.
Tremble in the dark all by yourself. I hadn't seen you since forever. Where's the girl that I once knew? Afraid, girl. Your heart's still pure beneath the hurt. You lost your way, you're in a free fall. I'd give my life to break your fall.
What a beautiful song, Mary. Congratulations. That's just wow. There's so melodic in there, and it's as if we're hearing Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Wow, thank you. That's a compliment. I love Tom Petty. It was one of the best concerts I've ever been to, and thanks. I appreciate it.
Mario, we have so much material to cover. I'm afraid we're going to run out of time, so let's get to it right away. You're VP of Sales at Godin Guitars, and that guitar looked like a Godin you were playing.
That's
there,
right.
am I right?
Yeah, it's a Simon and Patrick guitar. It's one of the very first ones I got from Godin.
Okay.
And I write a lot of my songs on this particular acoustic guitar. So
tell us a little bit about how you became who you are today at Godin. How did the story begin?
Well, I used to go on the road with my band, and for 9 months out of the year, we do like 3 months, come home for a month, 3 months, come home for a month. So on my time off, I would teach guitar lessons. And one of my students ended up being this kid. He was probably 9, 10 years old at the time. And he kept coming in with these really nice Godin guitars. And I'm like, wow, where are you getting all these guitars? And he goes, well, my dad makes them. So one day when Robert Godin came and picked up Simon, I said, hey, man, I'm looking for a job, and they hired me. And Simon Godin is actually the CEO of the company now. And we work closely together. And I've been there for over 20 years now.
Godin guitars are very artistically made, and they're very particular. If you want to compare them to the competition, I don't think there's anything out there that comes even close to what a Godin guitar is.
We make hybrid guitars. So, for example, acoustic guitars that you can play live at high volumes without worrying about feedback. Nylon string guitars that rock guitar players can play because of the way they're built and designed, and they're all made right here in Canada. So that's another thing we're very proud of,
And how long has Godin been around?
We're going to be celebrating 50 years.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, this year. So
And you were telling me that you're selling guitars in over 60 countries.
That's right. Yeah.
And how many guitars you produce on an annual basis?
This year is a little weird because of COVID and things like that. But, generally speaking, probably close to a couple 100,000 guitars, maybe
Oh,
one
wow.
160, 170
Oh my God,
a year.
that's amazing! Wow. And besides Jeff Gunn, who we interviewed last year on
That's
episode
right.
30,
Yeah, yeah,
okay,
yeah.
what other musicians have collaborated with Godin?
Um, Joe West, who is a singer, songwriter, producer, who's has a Grammy Award for bunch of he's a Grammy winner. He wrote for Keith Urban. We have Steve Stevens from Billy Idol's band, Aaron McLean from Air Supply and Mark Anthony's band, Mario Guini from J Lo's band. We have a lot of musicians who use our guitars. Daryl Sturmer from Genesis and Phil Collins band. And we're working closely right now with Derry Grahan from Honeymoon Suite. We're actually making him a custom Derry Grahan guitar. So looking forward to that because not only do I think he's a great player, I've been a fan my whole life. As a matter of fact, my first band when I was a kid was called Bad Attitude, just like one of their songs. Honeymoon Suite had a song called Bad Attitude. And so it's pretty cool to work with these guys. And,
What is the Honeymoon Suite doing these days? Because that's one of the bands I liked as well.
Well, COVID put everybody on the sideline for a while, but they're out there, they're touring, they're doing festivals. As a matter of fact, in 2019, they had a top 20 Billboard hit in the UK. So there's a lot, their albums are great. They're still producing music, and he's like such an underrated guitar player, Derry, and such a good songwriter. So we're happy to be working with him,
So, what's the best way for artists to approach a company like Godin for endorsements? Do companies not only look at social media statistics along with artist portfolio before determining that they are a potential prospect to collaborate with?
We're a little bit different because we look at bands that we feel truly love our guitars, already own our guitars, use our guitars. So you'll see our guitars in a lot of world-class studios all over the world. We have think of any studio that's, just like real top notch. And chances are somebody will pop in with, a Godin guitar. So we look at, is the artist really, does he just want a guitar or is he really a Godin fan? And if we can facilitate what he's trying to do. So for example, when we were working with the Mark Anthony guys, they needed nylon string guitars that they can play at a very loud volume and not feedback. So we don't only look at social media numbers and things like that, but it does help. Of course, if a band is pro, if a musician's pro and they're sharing your stuff, they're making quality videos, they've got a huge following, that's beneficial.
Because there are many, many artists you see that actually using Godin guitars, and it's amazing. A local company from here, you would never, you'd never guess that it would have become so big in little time. Like 50 years, you're going to say is a long time, but it's not a very long time
Not really.
for a company to be around.
Not really. But Robert Godin is still one of the hardest working guys that I've ever met in my life. He's more like retired now and the kids are taking over. But so he really set the groundwork, and he's very passionate and he makes great products. So
you have an established relationship with a legend in the rock music industry, and he is none other than Mahogany Rush's guitarist, Mr. Frank Marino. Tell us all about the relationship you have with our good old Frank.
Frank, he's the best. When I was about 14, 15 years old, my dad got tickets. It was Jerry Festival. I think it was called Jerry Fest. And Elton John was a client of my dad's because my dad's sells art. And so we went to see Elton John one night. And the night after, we got tickets to see Frank Marino and Mahogany Rush and Stevie Ray Vaughan. I was probably 14 years old. So that was like, oh my God, right? So I saw Frank live, and years later, when I was about 20 years old, I was playing a club with my band, and my singer, Mimo, said, hey, I think that's Vince Marino. And he was in the club just hanging out, doing sound. And we went up to him, we became friends. He produced our record, and we ended up befriending them, and we've been friends with Vince and Frank ever since. And we hang out. He's like an uncle to my kids. Just not only is he a talented guitar player, but he's one of the smartest humans and one of the nicest guys I've ever met in my life. Like, just super down to earth. And so we go over, we jam, we play, we record. And recently, the singer from the band when I was a kid called Krystal, Mimo, he wrote a bunch of songs, and he said, we should record these. And Frank offered to record them in his studio. So it was me, Mike Marino, which is Frank's nephew, who's playing bass, Mimo. And we recorded 5 songs. The project is called Mimo and the After Show, and it's going to be coming out in 2022. And Frank Marino produced it. So it was pretty kind of full circle to be a kid watching Frank live, and then for me to be in the studio playing guitar, which is, you would think, is very intimidating, but Frank is so generous and so encouraging that it was like probably one of the best musical experiences of my life.
See, you actually asked Frank to leave because you told me you couldn't play with him there.
Yeah, that's right. So
your palms are sweaty, or your feet were sweaty, and Frank, as humble as he is, what did he tell you?
So I was playing when I was 20. I was playing, and I was doing a track, and all of a sudden I turn around and he's leaning up against the door of the studio, the control room, because I always do my tracks in the control room. And I stopped playing. I said, Frank, come on, how can I play in front of you? And he's like, no, man, you're doing fine. And he overheard me say, oh, I forgot my wah pedal. And he said, oh, wait a minute, I got one. And he ran into his storage room, grabbed the wah pedal, and said, here, you can use this. And he gets on his knees, he's plugging in my wah pedal.
Oh,
I'm like,
my God.
What's going on here, right? So that's the kind of guy he is. So I am using Frank's pedal,
That's
It's
totally
just insane.
amazing.
And now we don't talk about guitars and amps. What we talk about is who makes the best pizza. So we all go to Calzone Pizza on St. Charles, and we enjoy pizza, and we talk about who makes the best coffee. So it's kind of cool because but he's just a regular dude with a beautiful family, and
But
that's
just
pretty much it.
amazing. Well, it's fun having and it's a relationship with such a legend. And you know what I love about people like that is that they are so humble, and it's just nice because some of these artists, it doesn't have to be a musician, they're just a little bit full of themselves, and sometimes it gets a little annoying. But people like that, just beautiful. You just feel like knowing a person like that for all he's worth.
Oh yeah, he's great, and my kids love him. He's really a genuine. Like, even if he was not, the Frank Marino we know, he'd be my friend because he's just the nicest guy, and he's very humble. He's extremely humble, and he's one of the best guitar players ever. We know that, right? But he's also an incredible, generous person, encouraging. He builds his own amps, builds his own pedals, and very, he'll just say, here, use this, do this. So it's
So
it is what it is.
Mario, let's talk a little bit about your band, Krystal. We haven't had a chance to talk about them. How did you come about forming the band, Krystal, or how did you become part of the band?
I didn't actually. So Mimo Oliveri, who's actually the singer of a band called 21 Gun Salute, they're probably one of the best AC/DC tribute bands in North America. They play all over. I was about 16 years old. He was probably 18, 19, and a mutual friend of ours, Mimo, asked him, said, hey, do you know a guitar player? And he said, yeah, I know this kid called Biff. He plays guitar. So Mimo called me and said, what are you into? And I said, well, I like Deep Purple. And he goes, okay, you're in. So we both like Deep Purple, and there you go. So I joined Mimo and a couple of other guys in the band, and that's the other thing with Mimo. He was a couple of years older than me, so he always kept me. He always looked after me like a little brother. And as a matter of fact, at that time I had a very small amp, and I said, I need an amp. And he actually lent me money. He goes, okay, I'm gonna buy a ramp, and then you could pay me later. I probably never even paid him back, but but he bought me a Marshall cab. I remember
Oh,
that.
wow.
Yeah. But no, but so basically just, and we started writing songs together. We started touring. We toured across the country many times. We signed a record deal. We had our songs um, on the radio and things of that nature. But we never really kind of hit that tipping point where we really broke. We were on Metal Edge magazine, which was a dream come true because that was the magazine at the time. It was kind of like Hit Parader and Circus magazine. So we had some pretty cool exposure, but we never really broke the way we hoped we would. But it was still super cool.
So, in all, how many bands did you play in?
Not many. I in high school I had a band with my friends. It was a high school band called Bad Trip, and then I joined Krystal, and that was pretty much it. And I was in Krystal from 16 all the way to 30 years old, because then we started playing blues bars, and we did an Aerosmith tribute, and we just loved playing music. And and then life gets in the way, and you kind of lose touch. And over the last couple of years, I reconnected with Mimo. He had some songs, and we're still writing songs together. So.
And you also have an established relationship with a good friend of ours who's been on our show already by the name of Charles Vaccaro.
That's right. Yeah.
So you two are buddies. Talk to us a little bit about Charlie and your relationship with him.
Well, Charlie was like the local guitar hero when I was a kid. And unlike a lot of the local heroes, where you'd go up to them as a kid and say, oh, let me see your guitar and amp, and they were too cool for school. I remember Charlie just being so generous with his time, and he had a guitar with a Floyd Rose. I had never seen a Floyd Rose. And between sets, he would say, hey, look at this guitar, look at this EMG pickup, look at this neck, it's a Kramer or whatever. And we were all enthusiastic about music, so we lost touch, and that's another person that we reconnected after many years. And as a matter of fact, that's the person that I co-wrote songs for Mate and Date, for the movie, for the film.
So now that we're on the subject, Mate and Date, you collaborated with Charles and you wrote some music for Teresa Picciano. What was it like working with our beloved Teresa Picciano?
It was super easy, I think she had the harder job, getting everything together. Our job was, watching this short film and coming up with music that made sense. So we sent her a couple of tracks, a couple of demos. She had a couple of notes. Hey, make it a little bit more swing, whatever, boom, boom, boom. And we did it. So I got to say, it was really easy. It's not always that easy, but this time it was very, very easy. And Charlie and I work very well together. So it was fun, which is the most important thing. And it was easy. So.
Well, we take it for granted, and we, like you said, it looks easy and all that, but the truth is, and everyone knows on the show that I absolutely love Teresa Picciano. She is the biggest heart you'll ever find. You know why it's easy, Mario? And I know it's because she's such a great person. She's such an amazing person. She's a lot of fun to work with, and it makes it that much easier. That's what makes it easy.
And I think as you get older, it's fun to pick and choose the projects you work on, and you choose the projects that you enjoy the people's company, you like the music, you like the music. So that's what you do. You kind of try to like hang out with people you like, right? So this was super fun. And thanks to Charlie, he got me in on that. We wrote some songs, and the movie's winning a bunch of the short film is winning a bunch of awards. So it's pretty cool.
I'm so happy for you, and I'm so happy for all of you. Like Charles and Teresa will be coming back on our show. I have the dates written down somewhere over here. Here we go. Okay, so Charles is going to be coming back on the 25th of October on our show, and Teresa Picciano is going to be coming back on November 22nd. So you don't want to miss these Rob's Inner Circle episodes. Actually, you don't want to miss any of our episodes.
There you go.
So you released your single Parachute in July 2021. Talk to us a little bit about the song.
I wrote a song called Parachute, and basically it's, trying to be somebody's parachute, trying to save somebody. And it was basically about this person that I met in high school, and I didn't see her at our high school reunion. And I asked about her, and even when she was very young, you could tell. I don't know. It's just like she lived probably a couple of lives. Even at 16, 17, you could tell like she lived heavy and hard, right? And I just kind of like wondered what happened to her. So I kind of extrapolated from there. Um, and I wanted to record this song. I was in Nashville. I was having dinner with a friend, and I said, "Man, I need a drummer." And my friend Mike Latanzi, who's a producer himself, he did a lot of big records. He said, "Oh, this guy will do your record," and it was Near Z, who played with Blake Shelton, Dan and Shay, Carrie Underwood, John Mayer. So I was very lucky to get the opportunity to have Near play drums on my not only that song but a bunch of other songs that are going to be coming out on an EP. And then I did the rest here in Montreal with Joe Pacheco. And I put it out there. One of my friends from when I was probably 20 something years old heard it. I had lost touch with him, but he was a producer and now he owns a record label in the UK. We saw each other at the NAMM show, and he said, "What have you been doing?" And I told him, and he goes, "Oh my God, I heard that song. I'd love to release it on my label." So I was lucky enough to sign with Mercia Records, that's distributed by Sony Orchard. So he released on his label my latest single, Parachute, this July. So just crazy how things happen sometimes.
How has the signing with Sony Orchard Records changed your life, and in which way?
Well, I'm signed with Mercia Records, and I have a distribution deal through them with the Orchard, which is owned by Sony. What it makes you realize is to do quality stuff, and they keep you on your ball. And I'm very lucky because the guys at the label know that I'm a working guy. They know that I'm a singer songwriter, and they just let me do my thing. They support it, and it actually encouraged me to keep. How would I put it? To stay in my lane, to just do my thing, regardless of what happens. So it actually gave me some encouragement or confidence. For some strange reason, they just said, "Yeah, do your thing. We're gonna release it." But I wouldn't have done anything different if they would have said, "Hey, cut your songs are too long," or whatnot. Like at this point in my life, you just want to do what you like, and I rather I'm doing it because I love it. So I'm happy to have the opportunity, and I'm learning a lot. I'm learning a lot of how things are released, marketed, and all that fun stuff.
Folks, we urge you to go on to Mario Biferali's YouTube channel. He's got a whole bunch of releases out there, a whole bunch of nice songs. And of course, it's very important that you go on there, you like what you're hearing, you comment, you want to share, want to talk about it, subscribe to Mario's channel. And just like on Bobby Shorts, hit the notification bell, because every time there's something new coming out, you'll be the first to know. You've been to a lot of NAMM shows, Mario.
Yeah.
We're about to bring on our special guest. So just before we bring on our guest, talk to us a little bit about your experience at NAMM.
Well, the NAMM show is for people that haven't heard of the NAMM. It's the National Association of Music Merchants, and it's every year in Anaheim, in California, in January, and it's basically the biggest convention of musical instrument companies. And I go there with Godin Guitars. I've been going for the last 20 plus years. And there's also another one every July in Nashville. And that's where you meet your customers and artists. And I used to do artist relations for Godin. So you meet, musicians of things of that nature. So it's very, very fun. I met a lot of my heroes. I met Elise Scalar, who's a bass player who I've loved. He's my favorite bass player. I've met so many musicians that the 14-year-old self would have freaked out. And and it's great. It's just it's basically like finding your tribe, finding, oh, wow, these are people like me. We were all high school kids that didn't fit in, weren't maybe jocks or tough guys. We were music guys. And here they all are, you know? So I love doing it. And I'm very proud of representing the company I represent.
We have a question from one of our viewers, Nadim Rahman, and he goes, Mario, as a drummer, I have to ask, how do you choose a drummer for your music?
I choose a drummer that plays for the song, not necessarily a busy drummer, somebody that has a good feel, and somebody that I like. I always go with somebody I like first, because if you like somebody, then the energy, the synergy is fantastic, and you have to play for the song. You know, of course, in this situation, I knew that Nir was just fantastic. You know, so I had to rise to the occasion, and he made me a better player. But that's what I do. Just play for the song, you know, have dynamics, play for the song. And, but thanks for the question. That's a good question.
So we have another question here. It's coming in from the United Kingdom. What is it like for you being able to do your own songs? Also, I am from the UK, as I mentioned. So how did you feel when you got signed?
You know, the dream was to get your music out there, right? And with my band Krystal, we had gotten signed, and then that kind of, I always made the excuse of, well, I'm not that good, but because I'm with the band, we got signed. So being signed to this, you know, later on, you know, like now, a couple of years ago, with my own songs, with my own music, it felt great. I felt vindicated. And I felt that it gave me confidence to continue doing what I'm doing.
Mario, there is someone who's part of your life that's making such a huge difference in your career. And like every musician, they all have a publicist. So we're going to bring on someone who's really special to you. And she's indeed a very special lady.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very nice lady. I had a good time chatting with her before the show. So let's bring her on, Mario. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Mario's publicist, directly from Italy. Actually, she's been here for 6 years. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Francesca Sacerdoti. Francesca, good evening.
Good evening, Rob and Mario. Thank you so much to you both for having me here. And thank you, and hi to everyone who's watching us tonight. And thank you for the beautiful words, this amazing introduction.
Well, Francesca, on behalf of myself, Patty, and Jenny, happy Thanksgiving to you.
Thank you, and to you all. Thank you very much.
And there's our big buddy, Charles Vaccaro, who's just tuned in. He's late. I guess the bus was late. Who knows? Maybe he travels by bus.
No, it's because in Laval, there's a time difference.
Hello, Charlie.
Yeah, so he's late.
Francesca, tell us a little bit about yourself. So you happen to be Mario's publicist. Tell us, first of all, how long it is that you're here, and where is that you're from?
Okay, so I'm from Rome, Italy. I moved here 5 years ago. And I finished some part of my studies here at Concordia. And actually, it's interesting because I have a background in fine arts too, as Mario, so which I finished here indeed. And then I started working for a company here organizing music and arts event. And then again, I worked for a PR company. And then I decided after, since I always loved music and art, to dedicate my life to open my own company. So this is pretty much my, in few words, how I arrived to open my company. It is called The Fearless Sounds. And I was lucky enough to start with an amazing musician such as Mario. So I have to say it's so good because the way we work together, he is such a professional. And we talked about branding, content creation, and marketing strategies. And it was amazing really to work together. And since you were talking about Charlie too, so I'm working also with Charles Vaccaro. which again, it's a dear friend like Mario, and another great musicians that is Roberto Enrico. So I have to say, a great start for me to have this chance.
So we realize the importance of having a publicist with the few words you've said there. If someone, an artist who wants to approach you to be his publicist or her publicist, is it fairly easy, or do they have to go through some kind of a process?
Well, I have to say, Rob, like, and Mario too knows this, like, for my company, I really want to pick the project that I really like, that I espouse, because I believe like there's no best thing to be able to promote the music you truly like by yourself. So to push it out there, to create new strategies, to work close with the artists, the musicians, this is the best thing. You know, there's no such thing as to be able to do what you love in life. So it's not everyone can actually contact me, by the way. The thing is, like, I really want to focus, since it's a new company, and let's say it's a such called sort of boutique company, in the way, like, I don't want to take too many projects on my hands, because I really want to dedicate my time to each single one and make it special, because every artist is special. Every song is different. Every time of the year is different. We were talking with Mario about his next releases, and we were already starting strategizing. And, you know, there are certain time of the year which it's better to launch or promote something instead of something else. So really, it's really, as I said, everyone can contact me, but I really want to promote music and project that I espouse in terms of feelings and taste too. I mean, this is a thing. So.
So Mario, how is it that Francesca worked with you in getting out the song Parachute? In which way?
Well, we met a couple of years ago, and we kept in touch. And as a matter of fact, I have to say that even when I was signing the deal with the label, I remember speaking with Francesca, and she really encouraged me to do it. And because I'm older, you know, I'm like, I'm just going to release it and it doesn't really matter. And she really kept me saying, no, let's do this. Let's do this right. Let's do this. Let's take our time. Let's everything she mentioned, talking about the branding. So she was a big part of encouraging me to do it. And when I talk about branding, I don't talk about trying to manufacture something. And Francesca will tell you, she always has to bug me to post. She always has to bug me to, you know, do stuff, because I'm like, I just want to play guitar and write songs. And and I don't want to be misrepresented, because the reality is I'm just a guy with a guitar that writes songs. And she says, well, that's what we're going to do. So she really encouraged me to just be me, do my thing. And she was a huge part of the success. The YouTube video has like over 84,000 views. The single in less than 8 weeks has 33,000 streams on Spotify.
That's amazing.
And that's in 8 weeks. I got airplay all over the world. Italy, Belgium, France, different parts of the US. And I have to say, Francesca, thanks to you, because, you know, I'm not super organized, and she always kept me on the ball. She would send me a schedule. Okay, we got to do this, a calendar. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to get this stuff to Francesca. So she, you know, and plus she's a super cool person, and we hang out, and she's a friend. So she became a friend, and I'm very happy to, I don't know, I'm very grateful.
Well, thank you so much, Mario, because these are amazing words. But the truth is, like, as I was saying before, working with him, like, is such a already renowned professional. So for me, it was really like a big push, you know, to do my best, and to that's what I was saying before, to espouse the project that you feel. You know, I love the song, I love working with Mario, I love his professionality. And yes, I mean, in the end, I was, every time we joke about it, because I'm the bad publicist, like, and the mean one, you know, sometimes like, Mario, you didn't post this, you have to. So I'm just like that. But I believe this is kind of the role of the publicist, to be sometimes, you know, to push there, because as Mario was saying, I want to work with artists that they have to do what they feel. So what they feel is like writing music, doing their music, and I take care of all the other things, you know. And plus, of course, we have, we became friends, and so it's also a pleasure to every time we have the chance to talk. And it's a real pleasure. So thank you, Mario. Actually,
Thank you.
Mario, I have a question from an audience member. His name is Antonio Russo, and he wants to know where you started your playing career. Is it in the USA or Canada?
It was in Canada. Yeah, it was in Canada. We played all across the country with my band, and then kind of like played Vermont a little bit in the US and things like that. But it was mostly in Canada.
Okay, and so your songs with Krystal.
Yeah.
Is there a YouTube channel where the audience can go watch or hear some of that music?
There's some stuff out there. If you Google it or go to YouTube and do a search, there's some stuff out there. But back then it was like kind of pre-internet stuff. So, but you can find our video for Man They Call Simple. We had a professional video made on film. So it's a nice quality. So yeah, you can check out some stuff on YouTube. You'll find it.
So Francesca, do you have a background in music? Are you a musician yourself? Do you sing? Do you play an instrument? Have you been involved in music before?
Well, this is like to say that I'm a musician is a big word, but yeah, I'm actually, I start to sing and I play a little bit of guitar. And well, my background when I really was a kid, like really we're talking about 6 years old, I was doing like I started playing piano a bit and singing as well, and also I did classical ballet. I loved all these things, but I believe it was too much, so I quit, and then I started playing guitar a bit when I was in high school. And then after I quit again, unfortunately, and this is very bad, but what I've been doing is like when I was in Italy, I was writing for some magazine about music, so music review, interviewing the musicians already. And I was organizing events that were merging art and music. I remember I did one for a couple of years called the Art and Beat. And then we were inviting like painters or visual artists, and we were merging that night together with the live music experience. So that's why it was Art and Beat. And so this was, but always behind the scenes. So now I'm trying to push myself to sing a bit, but to say that I'm a musician is a big word. So I'm not. Hopefully in 10 years I will be. We will see.
My God, this hour has just flown right by, unfortunately, and we've come down to the closing comments. So, Mario, I'm going to ask you both a question, both to Mario and Francesca. We'll start with Mario. Mario, if you have any advice to give to our audience members who are starting out or who are struggling musicians out there, what is it you can say to them coming from your personal experience?
I think something that I wished I knew earlier was you have to do you. And you have to stay in your lane. You have to play what you play, be true to yourself, and just keep doing what you do. Because I think I might have, in my 20s, tried to kind of like, okay, like, let me be a rock star. Let me do this. Let me do that. You kind of have to find your true self and not worry about anything else, but being true to yourself, and you will find your way. And I know that sounds very, very simplistic, but it's actually true. And what happens after is that people find you because they like what you do, and you build your audience that way. And whether it's small or big, at least it's a truthful, pure audience. So I would just say be true to yourself, really.
Francesca, what's the advice you have to give to a struggling artist or someone who wants to start in the business?
Well, I totally agree with Mario. So it's kind of the same line, but for me, it's like really find your tone, what makes you unique, and just pursue that. Like if you're different, if you feel different from what's around, it's even best. So go on, because it's you have to put out there what you feel, and if you follow that, And as Mario was saying, like if you're true to yourself and you have persistence, because we gotta be persistent in what we want, I mean, for sure, good things will come. And then from that, you know, build your own building, you know, from just that little part.
Mario and Francesca, it has been such a beautiful evening with you both. Thank you so much to both of you for coming on to our show.
Thank you.
And thank you especially. It is Thanksgiving, and you still, you know, made your way on the show. You could have had a family dinner or other engagements, but you decided to come on to Rob's Inner Circle and share your beautiful stories with our subliminal audience that we have week after week.
Well, thank you for having us. I appreciate it, and hope to see you soon.
Thank you so much, Robert. Thank you, Mario, and thank everyone who's watching.
So, Mario and Francesca, as we said before we came on the air, can you please stay on? Our producer and our technician are going to come back for our after show party.
Sure, we're there.
Okay. Stand by. Folks, there you have it. That was our guest tonight, the Montreal musician Mario Biferali, who's got his latest release, which was released in July 2021, called Parachute. You can go into Mario Biferali channel on YouTube and check out all of his beautiful music. He's absolutely amazing. This upcoming Wednesday with Esther Brzezinski, I'm going to be co-hosting Noon Hour Out of the Box. And we're going to be talking about internetless, a world without internet. That's going to be quite interesting. You don't want to miss our show this upcoming Wednesday at noon. And a reminder, you can catch Noon Hour Out of the Box every Saturday on accessradio.ca. That's between noon and 3. Next week, our guest is going to be none other than Vancouver's Tim Steinruck. He's from the heavy metal rock band called The Mighty One. They will also be on a tour with Rise Up Reality TV in the next few weeks. Folks, thank you so much once again for tuning in. We'll be seeing you next week, same time, same place, same reason. Stand by for another great show. See you later, alligator.